Bearder Bros Golf Show. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
Let's get into
hmm
this Tony Finau jazz. So the first story of the week came out earlier in the week. He made a driver change or driver shaft change. Still playing the Ping G430. Just had a shaft adjustment, getting too much spin in his current driver. So he went from a Diamana D Plus Limited 70 Tour X driver shaft to a Mitsubishi Diamana GT 70 TX Tour X. It's not much of a difference. He just went from a D plus to a GT, but still playing the Jing Ping. God, I'm gonna say that right one time. Ping G430 LST, the low spin version of that driver.
Yeah.
Again, just seeing too many revs on the driver. Which again, I said this was gonna tie into my experience. Again, I'm nobody special. Um, I went and got fit this week, and my experience was I went through all the major, drivers that are out there this year. Started off with the TaylorMade QI10. We quickly determined that I'm a high spin player. I knew this all along. We've seen this in my game. I always felt like something was going on where I wasn't able to fully max out my yardages. And, a lot of amateurs don't get a lot of spin with driver and through the bag. So didn't get a lot of control out of the QI10, moved to the TSR3. It was okay. I mean, actually, the distance was able to keep up, but I was having some low lefties, which I don't like seeing right now. Kind of just going towards the cut. That's the preferred shot shape. I feel like I have control of that. I used to hit a draw on command, but that's just not my shot anymore. Then we kind of went to the paradigm with Callaway and the ping for me as well. By this point, we're doing all low spin heads, kind of got into some low spin shafts. And that was the thing, right? We talked about this last week. The
hmm
heads are all very similar in
Yep.
terms of feel and performance. Where the differences happen are in the shafts. So we did a lot of shaft changes. I would go three, four, hits with each shaft and then change it up. And at the end of the fitting, I ended up with the Ping G430 low spin, same as the version that Tony's playing, but with I guess the equivalent version of Ping's kind of Ventus. They do some kind of internal shaft choices, and I didn't buy it. He said, "Hey, take it out for a demo, swing it for a couple of weeks, and then see what happens." And I did this weekend. Still feel like I need to, it's a shorter shaft as well for more control. I still feel like I need to adjust the weighting because I'm just getting a little too much right hand turn. I mean, I'm keeping it in play. Didn't have any crazy right hand balls, but it's just fading a little bit too much for me. Um, when you look at your driver and when you got fit, and have you put your TSR3 on the monitor yet? I don't know your
No.
your revs. You're just out here winging it.
Well, I mean, when I used to work at Golf Galaxy and would get on the monitor, I felt like I don't know. I felt like my true numbers never really showed, or I never really had a good experience because my swing was never really feel the best when I was in the monitor. And that could just be me
Mm,
personally because I just felt like my best swings were not in the monitor. And, I really just, I don't know. I feel like I'm looking down at the top line. If it looks good there, if it has a nice noise when I do hit it out the middle or somewhere near the middle. And then, of course, how it feels when I'm swinging it, like just my little waggle and whatnot, like that. Those are the things that I really go by. And then, I mean, I'm a tinkerer anyway. So a lot of this stuff is just going to end up me being, fine tuning it on my own anyway. So, I mean, that's
yeah,
the best part about me being like a former fitter. I know how to tinker the right way instead of just making
moving random stuff
extreme
around.
right, exactly, and making extreme differences. Like, I did the dumbest possible thing. The last round I played, changed back to the stock shaft that it came with. Stock shaft was absolutely garbage. I thought like it was like I was like, oh, okay, not the one for me. I'm so used to the
No.
shaft that I've been using. That's why I switched like right. I switched the tip from the TaylorMade tip to the Titleist tip so I could use the same shaft. That's how
Yeah.
good it's been for me, and that's 2 years, 3 years running. So I mean, it's the
Yeah,
best
your
shaft for me, and
profile
I
is
have
your
it in my three
profile.
wood too. Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really. I mean, when I used to play around with numbers, the Callaway had the best numbers for me. The Callaway Epic Flash Sub Zero, which is their low spin model, their I'd be in there getting 280 type carry, and I'm never really like that. I'm probably a 260, 265, driver carry with rollout, and then up to 290 or whatever, whatever, whatever. But even then, I try to play the whole. I try not to sit here and be like, oh, I hit it
I'm
305
just
for
blasting
what?
it. Right.
Right.
Is it useful distance, right? Or does the
Yeah,
distance
I'm
put
not
you in
trying to
trouble?
fabricate numbers. Yeah, that's stupid.
That's the thing,
There's
right?
no need
So
for me
it's
to do that.
crazy. The paradigm gave me the best yardage. And that's the thing that
Hmm.
in my head I'm trying to not chase because it was giving me an extra 5 to 10 versus the other clubs consistently. The
Yeah.
the misses, however, were not good misses. There's you can
Mm.
none of us play the game perfectly, but those misses with the paradigm were just not gonna play well on the course. And the way
Yeah.
the fitter told me is like, hey man, look, we can try this out for a couple rounds and see if this works and maybe come back and try something else out on the course because like you said it's very
Yeah.
different hitting in a bay versus hitting out with course conditions, different framing, right, versus a wide open you know it's driving range where you just have this visual, you're hitting into the
Right.
void. It's just different, right, versus when you're out on the course and you see the exit and you see the flight a little bit longer and you can kind of see if it fits what you're looking for as well. So I think ultimately what I want to say for anybody that catches this later is go get fit. I mean, you may
Go
think
get
you
fit.
know, but you really don't know until you get put on a monitor and have a really decent idea of what your numbers are producing and if the shaft that you're playing is too spinny, which honestly makes your misses a lot more drastic.
Yep.
And you could be punishing yourself for no reason. So like I said, go get fit. And if your swing changes, if it's been years since you've been fit, go get fit again because something may have changed in your swing. You're doing something different.
Your
Wyndham
body
Clark
is
has mentioned
different.
this. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You may be getting older. You may have gotten in shape, and changed some things about yourself. It can go both ways. So go get your ass fit. If you're playing serious golf and you want to see your scores get lowered, go get fit. And also, I think ball fitting is also appropriate. That's another thing that I really enjoyed my fitter. So if you're in Dallas Fort Worth, unpaid, you know, advertisement here. Go to Dallas Golf. Go check in with Dave or Austin. I had Austin this time around. Dave did my iron fitting. Really good guys. Really care about golfers, and will give you a ton of useful feedback for you to continue to learn. About your own game, and even if you're struggling with some things in your swing, they'll even help you out with some quick swing tips just to kind of help. So Dallas Golf. If you're in the DFW area and you don't want to go to a big box store, they're amazing over there. So I've been to a couple fittings with them. So shout out to those guys.
And you got to make sure that you go where you're comfortable, because just like I said, hitting in the monitor and hitting in a hitting bay is not for you. There are plenty of places that have hitting bays that hit you to outdoor spaces or have you out on the range where you're outdoor in the elements as it is. So, like for my Houston constituents, Club Champion, they're indoors and outdoors. Golf Tech is indoors. And then just find you a club fitting. They have them all the time. Memorial Park literally has demo days all the time. Ping, Mizuno, Titleist, TaylorMade, excuse me, you name it. Don't be afraid to go get your wedges fit. because you might say that you think you need a 58 in your bag, or you may think you need a 62 in your bag. And then you go and you get fit, and they're like, bro, you need a pitching wedge, a gap wedge, and a sand wedge. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Or a
Yeah.
putter.
For
Bro,
years,
for
I
you.
played some of my best golf with the lowest lofted wedge being a 56 in my bag for years. And some days it makes me think, why are you overcomplicating this? You know?
Some people don't need that. Me personally, I've been on the same sticks for so long that I know my numbers. Like I know what's best for me. I know like what I need to be using. So I'm very fortunate to have been in the golf industry to know these numbers. But like,
Yeah.
do I go between seeing if I want to hit 52, 56, 60? Yes, but when my pitching wedge is 45 degrees, why would I want to have that drastic a difference in gap in my degrees? Because that's where the distance is. So like
Uh-huh.
a lot of people don't know this, but there's like some like 2.5 yards per mile per hour degrees and stuff like that. So that's why when you're
Yeah.
going through your bag, that's why it's every 10 yards. Or with some like, some TaylorMade clubs, it's every 15 yards, just depending upon how they loft it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's typically your gapping, even in your wedges. That's why you're 4 degrees. You're swinging these slower, the shafts are shorter, so that's why there's 4 degrees instead of like, 2 degrees difference. But it's going to be that same
Right.
10 yards to 15 yards difference in between your wedges. And then your putter, get fit for the freaking putter, bro. Like, you think your numbers are good on this, but you just like what happened. Scotty thought he needed a blade and he was doing aesthetic stuff. Then he got him into one of those spider tours where where the alignment line was there for him, the forgiveness was there for him, and he started holding putts again, and everything was hunky dory.
Custom face. Um, it's there's a video that TaylorMade has out. I see it pop up every once in a while. I think they actually have it as an advertisement at this stage, but it's showing the build of his custom putter, and everybody needs something a little bit different. So yeah, man, don't
Yep.
think that just a certain look appeals to you. It may not give you the numbers. People are not necessarily familiar that putters have loft on them, right? So you may be
Mm-hmm.
hitting the wrong loft in your putter, and just maybe
Very true.
causing you to pull, push. The look is just a little bit different. Causes your eye line to look a certain way. So all
Yep.
these things in golf, go get fit, bro. I mean, if you want to play good golf, if you just want to go out and drink and have fun, hit what you hit. But if you actually want to make a difference in your scores, it can make a huge difference. And there's a whole nother like once you get fit and know what your miss is. I watched this video from Golf Digest from a couple weeks ago, just talking. I think I sent it to you about the cone of misses, and I've really been trying to employ that strategy out on the course, knowing what my miss is, and
Yeah.
maybe making some non-traditional alignment choices, but it's within my cone of misses, right? And so playing out of the fairway, just kind of aiming middle of the green versus trying to hunt at flags. But we're getting way deep into some stuff that we'll talk about it later. You get a lot of stuff out of this channel, y'all. A little business knowledge, a little technical golf knowledge, a little BS in here and there. You're in a well-rounded environment. So uh,
Absolutely.
hit that subscribe button, hit that membership button. We got you covered on all things golf.